Number 3, you mentioned on your last radio address that you would vote for Ron Paul if he ran again to be poetic in some way. I was wondering if you ever voted in your life, and if so, who did you vote for? And when it came to the presidential arena, I've always voted. Growing up, it's not until recently I realized what a fairly vain issue it is. There's a place to vote. There's a poetic element there. I mean, I voted for Ron Paul if he ran again, or Dennis Kucinich. The system's there. Unfortunately, the public continues to support the system. So it's difficult because once it's past a particular threshold, there is an efficiency to voting, but only to an extremely limited degree. What would be beautiful is if they held an election and no one showed up. That would be absolutely incredible. A 1% turnout for the entire U.S. election. That would be the point of a massive overhaul, because it shows the public just doesn't care about the people anymore that are in power, because hopefully they understand that they all play the same basic game and they're all locked into the same basic frame of reference. So I think you vote in a temporal sense. I don't. When I say reject the political system, I mean that in the broad psychological sense. You have to understand what the system is. It doesn't mean you shouldn't be somewhat active. It goes back to my old analogy of, it's actually not quite applicable. Well, it can be. I'll state it anyway. If you have a person that, if you have an immediate issue and it's dire right then you have to participate in the system that will resolve that issue. If you see the issues repeatedly and constantly, you have to do that. And half of your participation should be dedicated towards resolution within the system. But the other half should be focused on the larger order of things and why these problems continually arise. And that's the root cause foundation. Politics doesn't address any form of root causes. It doesn't deal with the sources. It doesn't deal with planetary functionality or social functionality on a real level. It's only dealing with them at a monetary, superficial level in a heavy self-interest-based collusion with the constituents that are in its inner circle. So I think that's pretty transparent.